Today we're going to put in a Polaris electronic reverse kit, or PERK, in a 2003 Polaris Edge 600. Now these kits, to go to a dealer and have them put in, usually cost $800 plus. We're going to put it in ourselves for $500 or a little under. So stay tuned, it's going to be a long show, and we'll show you how to do this. This is our kit unboxed. You're going to get the never failing set of instructions, a new CDI box, connectors for your CDI box, brand new back piece to your brakes with the reverse, high-low switch, and your heaters, brand spanking new tack with your reverse light in it if you don't already have one, miscellaneous fasteners, a new oil pump, brand new wiring harness, a new helix for your secondary, and a new secondary for your new helix and your new spring. So that's everything that comes in your kit. The instructions say 39 easy steps. We're going to find out real quick. We'll walk over here to our sled and start pulling it apart, and then we can put all this stuff back in. So here's our next victim. 2003 Polaris Edge 600, and let's dive under the hood here and get to work. Okay, so here's where they want us to start at. I'm going to try and go right in order with the instructions and not try to bounce around too much. So the first thing they want us to do is get that secondary off. Secondary's off. Now it wants us to move on to the air box. We got to disconnect the air box, put that off, and the carburetors. Alright, our air box is out. We had one extra line that was for our temp flow. No big deal. So now we got to pull our carbs off. The reason why we pull all this stuff out is to get to our oil pump, which is right here, and all of our old wiring harness. And here's our new pump. A little bit bigger than the other one. Our inlet line is now over here on the left. It was down here on the bottom. So things are going to change. They do supply us with a new hose. Now is the time. Okay, while you're in here, check these hoses out. If they're not soft and pliable, replace them. They're going to crack, your oil's going to leak, you're going to run lean, and you're going to burn down the motor. So these are last year's replacements. They are kind of soft. They're starting to stiffen up, but they'll be good for another year or two. So I'm going to put these back on. Now we got to put this back in, and then we got to jump over to the handlebar section. So we'll put this in and we'll jump over there. Here's our new oil pump in, all connected. The oil lines, except for the two block lines, aren't going to get hooked up until we put the carburetor in and the oil tank. The oil tank, they gave us a new main line for the oil tank. That'll get replaced before when we put the oil tank on. And I'll show you a little trick there too, so you're not starting up dry. So the next thing we got to move on to is the handlebars. Handlebars. What they want us to do is remove the cover, which I did have the cover on these extensions. Unplug And what we're going to do is we're going to remove this face and put the new face on with the reverse button. Alright, our new push button is on. Everything's back up. I'm going to leave this loose until I get it down on the ground and I can put that where I want it. What we're starting to do now is run the new wire loom down into the sled. And the easiest way to put this in is take this out and put this in at the same time. As you're pulling this out, you're following along with this and putting your plugs in as you're pulling them out. That's the easiest way to do it. You don't get confused as where the plugs are. If you rip everything out and then start laying that in and say, oh my God, you know, where'd this plug come from? If you follow it down through and add these as you're pulling this one out, you know where they go. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep following this down and pulling plugs out, putting plugs in. Next thing we're going to have to do is pull the tank or loosen the tank up and run the rear brake wire. Okay, old wiring harness out, new wiring harness in, strapped into the factory straps. I recommend using a wire coat hanger to fish your wires underneath the engine, pull to the hood, works really good. We also put in the oil pump and the buttons, which you've seen. That's it for this week. We're not going to do any more. The next time we're on, we're going to put in the secondary, we're going to put in the new tack, and we're also going to put in the new CDI unit and plug it in. After that, we should be able to go in reverse. So, if I don't see you before, we'll see you out on the trail.